Hello, my name is Kelly Bluen. I am a certified Zentangle teacher. Welcome to my floral series. In these videos, I show you beautiful botanical or organic tangles using the Zentangle method of drawing. So some of these are from Zentangle headquarters. Other ones have been designed by artists all over the world. And each one that I'm choosing is unique and will hopefully teach you a new technique each time that we make one. So in this series, I will have a total of 23 videos, Monday through Friday, each week in the month of May. And I've got this adorable little sketchbook that I am making my florals in. You can use whatever you have. So we practice it first in this little book, and then we are adding them to 3.5 inch by 3.5 inch tiles from zentangle.com. So here's the tiles, zentangle.com. Okay, I also have this little bookmark that I'm going to be using as a ruler. I've got my graphite pencil, a blending tool, an eraser, my Micron PN pen. All you really need is a pen and paper. Okay, let's open up here and get to a new page. All right, so today we are on day 5, which is actually May 6th or 7th. I think it's May 7th. Okay, so our 5th tangle, and this is one that many of you have done. I have used it in many videos, and it is one of my all-time favorites, and it is called Henna Drum. And it was created by Jane MacKuglar, a CZT. Okay, so this is, I feel like it's just one of the classics. It's one of the first ones that I ever learned, and I love it so, so much. So I thought, why not put it in our botanical series? Okay, so Henna Drum is, let's see, let's just put in a little like curly stem. We'll zoom in a little bit here. Okay, and then we put in this half circle and we ink it in. Then we add an aura, which is just this line around it. And if your line ends up a little bit uneven or too wide, you can always make that inside part larger. And there are several ways to make this. So one of the ways is we go around, let me just sort of make one over here. We go around like this, and then we put in these little petals. I like to make my petals each separately, but if you would rather do it this way, you can. So I like to start right in the center, the top center, and I'm going to go out just a little bit and out a little bit. And then you can put in a wavy line, or you can put in 3 bumps. It's up to you. Then I make another one next to it, and I like to make a separate line so that they kind of are separated a little bit. And I put in another wavy line. And another one. And if you get to the end and you still have room, you could always do half of one if you wanted to. And then inside we put a long little, what is that called? Like a little slash, a little hash mark. Then we put 2 smaller ones. So kind of a flick where you start out thick and then go thin when you lift your pen. So 1 bigger one and 2 smaller ones. and that is the beautiful Henna Drum. So this is one that can just be done on a stem like this. It can be done on one that is a little bit thicker, if you would like to do that. There are so many ways to use this one. Okay, I'm excited to add it to our garden. All right, so I have my little garden growing here, and I am using these 3.5 inch by 3.5 inch tiles. And on the back, I am writing down the ones that we are using. And of course, these are going backwards so that when you flip it, they're going the correct way. But today is Henna Drum. And look at our beautiful garden so far. Now, I know some of you are coloring yours as you go, and that is absolutely wonderful. Use gel pens, markers, Copic markers, whatever you want. I think I'm just going to leave mine black and white. And I have mentioned a few times that at the end of the month, we'll be doing a little watercolor class with my friend Audrey Shantz of Audrey Shantz Art. And she's got some beautiful videos on her YouTube channel if you'd like to look them up. But we're going to teach her how to draw a few of these, and she's going to show us how to watercolor paint them. So you can wait and do the watercolor at the end on all of this, or probably what I'm going to do is just a smaller page with a few flowers and do it that way. Anyway, it's up to you. Okay, so I have this little bookmark that I included in kits that I sold to some of you and ran out quickly, so I apologize. But any little scrap of paper will work. So I have this, and I am lining it up at the top of my tile and putting in a little mark, and then doing it on the other side. And then also doing it at the bottom. And then I'm using the edge like a ruler, and I'm just continuing this border. And down here also, continuing that border. And it does not matter how you are doing this. If you're doing this on a larger piece of paper or on cards or a sketchbook, it's okay. Do it however you'd like. Okay, let's put in some Henna Drum. I'm so excited about this one. All right, so to do this, I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. I'm going to use my pencil first just because I like to sort of map out where I want these to go. So I'm thinking of, I feel like I want one of the henna drums right here. So I want to put in like a nice curly Q. I can put my henna drum right there. And then I'm going to do a curly Q up this way so I can put one over here. And maybe that's it for right now. Let's get this started and see what we think. So I'm going to go ahead and ink this one in. Made it a little bit smaller over here. And then we put in that half circle and ink it in. And then we add that aura. Now we're going to put in those little petals. You can start at the top, like in the center, or on the sides, whatever you would like. I like to start up here in the center, and it gives me a good height, and it kind of sets the stage for what it's going to look like. And then I'm just going to do a wiggly line, but of course you can do the 3 bumps if you want. And I'm going to put in those little lines, a tall one in the middle and 2 on the sides. Isn't it just beautiful? All right, I would like one over here, so I'm going to make my curly Q go this way. And put in my half circle and ink it in. Don't forget that aura. That aura is such an important part, just separating that dark from the petals. It looks completely different if we don't add the aura. Okay, we're going to go out and out up here. Make sure you make these nice and long. They don't need to be little short ones. You've got space. Add your little lines. Oh, I love that so much. All right, now I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to add a couple on the bottom of my tile. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to. You can add like another little stem here and put one up there. But I feel like I don't just want grass across all my tiles in my garden. I kind of want to have some flowers sort of growing up from the ground. So I'm going to do a half circle there. Ink it in. Put in the aura. And on my center line, I'm going to add a dot this time. Just because we can. We can do whatever we want with these. And then I'm going to show you another technique where we're going to aura the whole thing. So over here, I'm really close to my stem, but I'm just going to make it work, and I'm just going really close to those lines. And look at how that just sort of gives it a little hug. It brings it all together. And then for fun, I'm going to do another one over here, and I'm going to purposely make it at an angle. And again, if this isn't your style, you don't have to do this part. And I'm going to aura this one as well. And add in those little lines. Isn't that so cute? Like they're just sort of laying on the ground or growing up from the ground, maybe. You also could do it coming from the top if you'd like. I'm not going to do it yet because I'm going to wait and see what we put in over here. If you like the auraing, you're welcome to aura these that are growing on the little plant, but you don't have to. So much fun. I love it. All right, so I'm going to add a few little spirals just to kind of fill in some spaces. So I'm going to put a little extra spiral there. I'm going to add one down here. And you could even make this more of a fescue. And maybe we'll add fescue to our embellishments page in our little sketchbook. So this is actually a tangle, but it's just a curved line with this pretty little top. It is called Fescue, and it is by Zentangle. And I'm putting it in embellishments just because I'm not going to use it as its own, its own flower on my garden. But it's a fun one to add. So like I could put one here, and then you just sort of round off that top. Do one here. And they're also fun to color in if you want to make them black. I'll do one up there as well. And I think I'll add one down here just because I like that little dark area. All right, I'm not going to add any embellishments to the top yet. I'm going to wait and see what happens over here, but I am going to continue this little U-shaped grass just up to the flower. And then we'll add some shading. All right, so shading henna drum is very easy. All we have to do is put a little bit of graphite on the outside of that circle at the bottom of the petals. So I'm going to do it on all 4 of mine. Then we take our blending tool and we're pushing that up and out into those petals. Look at how pretty that looks. I love it. All right, I'm also going to add a little bit along this stem where it's growing out of to give that the slightest little shadow. Same thing on this one. And you don't need to put graphite where the dark ink is because it's dark enough. You're not really going to be able to add much anyway. Down here, I'm going to add it at the bottom where it's coming up out of the ground. And then lastly, I'm going to add it where this flower goes over the next one. So right on that little outside edge, as if that one behind it has a shadow being formed. I'll take my kneaded eraser. I probably should have erased first, but I'm going to get rid of some of these little spiral lines that I did. So these kneaded erasers are just kind of gummy and they're nice and squishy. And they are so great because they don't leave a residue. They don't ruin your paper. And also you can use them to dab. So if you put down some graphite and it's too dark, you can erase it just by rubbing it. You can also dab it or you can roll it. And look at that, it gets rid of it and doesn't leave any residue behind. So these kneaded erasers are wonderful. Okay, let's zoom out and check out our garden so far. What do you think? I can't believe we've already done 5 days. I absolutely love it. I think we'll do another one here and then we'll add some more boulder builder just to kind of keep that look of that garden wall going. And I think it looks amazing. I hope you enjoyed that one today and we will see you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye-bye.